Slovakia's opposition leader says the deal to approve expanding the EU bailout fund has been reached and it will be voted in later this week. Earlier, the country's parliament voted against it, which caused the collapse of the country's ruling coalition. Slovakia was the only member to say no to increasing the facility, which already got the green light from 16 out of the 17 Eurozone members. Let's now talk to British Euro MP Nigel Farage for more insight into this. Thank you for coming on today. We know that Slovakia will hold another vote expected to approve expanding the bailout fund. Why would it want to derail it in the first place when the cash there could be used to help it as well?
Well, can I just correct you? When you said that 16 countries had voted for the Eurozone bailout, what you meant was 16 parliaments stuffed with career politicians had voted for it, not 16 countries. Because I tell you something, if you put this bailout package to a referendum across Europe, the vast majority of countries would say no. So Slovakia said no last night, but of course no isn't good enough. No is unacceptable in the modern European Union. If you say no, as the Irish did a couple of years ago, and as the Slovaks did last night, you're made to vote again until you get the right answer, which gives you a true measure of what this project's really like.
OK, so as I understand from you, the re-vote is politically motivated here. But will increasing the bailout fund to 440 billion euros be enough if Spain or Italy were to go under?
No, I mean, look, you know, it's difficult to tell what will happen, but if Italy goes, they're going to need a couple of trillion to bail it out. And what is the point, actually, of bailing these countries out? What are the bailouts? Are these bailouts helping the people in Greece and Portugal and Ireland? No, they're not. What they're actually doing is they're giving money to these countries to give back to our banks who overlent the money in the first place. I mean, the whole thing is mad. What these countries need, who are trapped inside this economic prison called the euro, is they need to devalue. Without devaluation, they're having austerity packages pushed upon them, which is forcing them into a downward deflationary spiral, which, in my opinion, in Greece and possibly in Portugal too, could lead to revolution. What we're doing is stupid and very, very dangerous indeed.
So more austerity measures for the people, more bailouts for the banks. As you say, the banks are the ones who caused this crisis in the first place. But the EU Commission President, José Manuel Barroso, has called for coordinated strengthening of the region's banks. In any way, shape or form, could that help avert another recession, or is it just another way of lining the pockets of the banksters?
What it is, it's a way of preparing the banks for the inevitable defaults that are going to come from those Eurozone countries. So that's why they're recapitalising the banks. I mean, I accept that sovereign debt and bank debt are two separate issues, but the interconnection is also very strong indeed. Look, they are, you know, you must understand that I've just been in this parliamentary chamber with Mr. Barroso. These people are absolutely intent on creating a United States of Europe. They don't care how many millions of people are chucked onto the unemployment scrap heap. They don't care about the tide of human misery that they cause. They have got their political goal. But the reality is that not only economically is this failing, but politically it's failing. You know, we can talk about the Slovakian parliament, but more significantly, look at what happened in Finland earlier this year, where a virtually brand new political party got 20% of the vote. Look at the opinion polls in the Netherlands. There is now a split in Europe from north to south, and in the north we are witnessing a democratic revolution against the whole concept of the euro and the idea that people like Mr. Barroso and my old friend Herman Van Rompuy should govern 500 million people. It is not acceptable.
Now, as you're saying, when it comes to the eurozone, you're saying it's economically it's failed, politically it's failed. Yeah. What is the solution? What is the point?
Well, I have been asking now for about 9 months, repeatedly, for a plan B. Could we please be grown up? Could we please be mature? And could we please be good Europeans and recognise that when this inevitable Greek default comes, unless we have a plan B, on day one there'll be no money on the banks, on day two there'll be no bread in the bakers. So can we please have a contingency plan that allows us to deal with this problem as and when it emerges? To date, they've prepared absolutely nothing, and this is just how irresponsible and dangerous these people are. I think what will happen now is that senior economists will begin to put together a contingency plan that allows Greece, Portugal and probably Ireland too to leave the euro, to reschedule their debts, to get a new currency that devalues by maybe 50 or 60%. And as Iceland proved back in 2008, sometimes it's best to take the bad news, to accept where you are and start again, and that is what needs to happen.
Now, Serbia is the latest country aiming to join the EU. EU. Its candidacy has been put forward by the European Commission on Wednesday. What benefits are there, though, when the region is struggling so much? I've heard some analysts describe joining the Eurozone as rats jumping onto a sinking ship.
Yeah, well, it's very stupid. And again, this is the political class of Europe that want to do this. I mean, Serbia and Serbian politicians, of course, will all become multimillionaires if they join the European Union. So that's extremely attractive to them, if not to the Serbian people themselves. But look, I mean, think about this. Just a decade ago, we had the Croats and Serbs killing each other in vast numbers so that they could be in separate countries, and now their politicians and leaders want to reunite them all again in the same kind of political union that Yugoslavia was. I think it's absolutely insane.
Nigel Farage, a British Euro MP. Thank you.
Thank you.